The storm rolled in like a curse, smothering the stars and swallowing the moonlight. Waves battered the jagged cliffs of Isla del Silencio, a forsaken rock in the middle of the Caribbean. Atop it stood the crumbling ruins of an old Spanish fort, long abandoned and half-eaten by vines and salt. In the shattered courtyard, Captain Jack Sparrow arrived like a ghost. His coat clung to him, soaked and tattered, but his posture was still unmistakable. Crooked, swaying, defiant. He had a pistol tucked into his sash, a cutlass loose at his side, and that ever-present grin, even in the face of thunder. Across the yard, a shadow dropped from the ruined watchtower with predator-like grace. Edward Kenway. No swagger, no games, just cold steel in his eyes and a deadly calmness in his steps. Twin swords gleamed under the flickering flashes of lightning. Hidden blades sat coiled beneath his wrists, ready to strike. "Edward!" Jack called out, waving one hand lazily, as if greeting an old tavern buddy. "You're looking terribly grim for someone who's just found me." "You've run long enough, Sparrow," Edward said, stepping closer. "The Brotherhood wants justice." "Justice?" Jack blinked. "Funny. I thought it was personal." Edward didn't answer. He drew his sword. Jack sighed. "Right. No rum and no conversation. Lovely." And with that, steel met steel. The fight erupted like thunder. Edward struck first, clean, precise, deadly. Jack ducked, parried, and slipped through the blows like a leaf in a hurricane. He wasn't fighting like a swordsman. He was fighting like a survivor. All elbows, kicks, slips, and sudden turns. Edward pressed harder, his style sharp and exact. A lifetime of assassin training poured through each strike. Jack, on the other hand, was chaos incarnate, tossing pebbles, distracting with words, faking a stumble just to draw Edward in. "You fight like a man who read too many books on swordplay," Jack teased, blocking a hidden blade with the hilt of his pistol. "Me? I just improvise." A pouch of sand flew from Jack's hand into Edward's eyes. Edward cursed, backing away to wipe it off. But Jack wasn't running. He was lighting something. A torch hit a barrel. A spark. A boom. The fort exploded. Dust and fire filled the air, and Edward vanished into the smoke. Jack staggered through the ruins, coughing, bleeding from a shallow gash across his arm. Then, silence. A whisper of footsteps behind him. Too late. Edward tackled Jack into the wall, knocking the pistol from his hand. His hidden blade flicked forward, inches from Jack's throat. "Give me a reason not to end you," Edward said, eyes cold. Jack's lip was bleeding. His voice dropped to a whisper. "Because you'll miss the twist." "What?" Bang! The shot rang out, loud and final. From the rubble, Jack had pulled a second pistol. Old, rusty, but deadly. The bullet tore into Edward's gut. The assassin stumbled back, eyes wide with pain. Its blade clattered to the stone. Jack stood slowly, limping, breathing hard. Edward dropped to his knees, blood soaking the stone. "You cheated," he rasped. "I know," Jack said softly. "That's why I'm still alive." Rain poured as Jack staggered away from the fort. Behind him, Edward Kenway lay still, claimed by the island's silence. At the cliff's edge, a single rowboat bobbed in the violent surf below. No ship, no crew, no one but Jack and the sea. He climbed down slowly, lowering himself into the boat. Lightning flashed one last time as he pushed off, rowing into the night. The storm began to fade. Somewhere in the distance, a gull called, and the legend of the two greatest pirates the Caribbean ever knew ended with only one sailing away. The sea took one, it spared the other, but it forgot neither.